Now, as a black person, I get you act white all the goddamn time, and it's actually super annoying. Because it's like, seriously? Because the people that say that are also they just so happen to be the people that are like, oh, yo, all black people are different and come in different shapes and sizes, and all their stories are valid, yada, 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 all that bullshit, right? But the second you don't act the way that they think a black person should act, well, congratulations, you're now white. Like, all right, then. Well, let's see what he's got to say.
I love when a good thing comes together, folks. I had set an intention this morning to record a video on
That's what I'm saying.
acting white. This entire idea, talking white,
Fucking
acting white,
ridiculous.
etc. And this morning, before I record the video, I go through a few of my comments. Again, I try my best to go through some of them and at least like and things of that nature.
Bro, I've noticed something that people should do, or at least that other YouTubers and smaller content creators do. Do not go through your comments before you're going to make a video. Like, you're going to see something that you're not going to like, because it's inevitable. It's inevitable. And then what's going to happen is you're going to lose the motivation and the drive to do exactly what you wanted to do, and the video isn't going to come out as well, if you even make it at all. And then deep down in your heart that you put out what you would consider shit content, and then it's just like, well, now I feel even worse. Like, let's not do that.
Nature. There's just a whole lot going on. I spend a lot of time creating content, researching, etc. So if y'all been showing love, I appreciate y'all. But I saw a comment and it caught my attention. I said, this is a perfect example of exactly what I'm about to get into. And this person essentially said, under a video, mind you, where I was speaking on how the welfare system has become a generational curse.
Thank you. The purple curse is fucking amazing, isn't it?
Quote unquote POCs, marginalized peoples, etc. These different classifications that are oftentimes used to to label individuals who are lower class. But this guy says, you subscribe to the white man's value system. Now, that's super interesting to me because it ties directly into this entire idea of whiteness and you're acting white. And I'm sure that...
And also, let me try to fucking think ahead real quick. The white man's value system would probably be something like... being on time, not acting a fool, wearing your clothes correctly, just random shit like that. Nothing that's actually exclusive to white people at all, anywhere, ever. But just because it's, I guess, coming from a white guy, or it's something that black people don't typically do, surprise, surprise, or what they assume a black person wouldn't do, it's automatically white people shit. That's kind of crazy. But also, on top of that, if that's what we're going with, you do remember that I think isn't America like 70% white, right? Aren't in this place like 70% white? So let's just say hypothetically that's what you wanted to do. I feel like it would behoove you to do that because minority in the country want to assimilate correctly. Let's be real here.
There's a lot of black folk out there who are listening right now who have been told at some point in time that you're talking white, or you talk white,
yep,
or you act white. Mm-hmm. And when I was young, I used to take this as something to take offense to. I used to see it as triggering because, that meant that I was an outsider. It meant that I wasn't cool. And so I would look to change my vocabulary. I would literally switch up my vernacular. That's why sometimes I may break into, some Ebonics. I know they got a new name for it nowadays, but, I used to break.
First off, I had no idea they had a new name for Ebonics. Secondly, yeah, it's kind of annoying. And it's called, at least code switching. I don't know if that's the newest version of it, but code switching usually is when a black person starts speaking more quote unquote white as to not make other people that are around them that are not black uncomfortable. You know what I mean? But now there are a lot of black people like myself that need to code switch into speaking Ebonics because it goes the opposite way. Because for some reason, some people are super fucking upset that I don't speak in Ebonics 24/7. My bad. I have a very robust vernacular. I'm sorry. I just like let's be real here.
Break into slang or whatever it was in order to fit in with the status quo, because I did want to be pointed as a dude who talks white. And yet the older I get, the more I realize that, that's a compliment. When somebody is telling you that you quote unquote talk white, what they're actually alluding to is that you are well.
I was about to say, oh God, I'm nice. I was about to say, I'm not going to apologize anymore. I resonate exactly with this guy is saying, because I used to do the same goddamn shit too. And now I just am the way I am. People just think I hate black people. It's like, no. I get to call out bullshit that I see on the black side of the internet, I suppose, is what you want to call it. and they can't hit me with you just hate black people. It's like, no. I don't hate myself. I feel like you're glorifying stupid hoes for some reason. And the women that glorify the stupid hoes grow up to be stupid hoes. And the niggas that grow up, they seem to idolize the rapper lifestyle, and they like to disrespect women. As fun as disrespecting women is, there's kind of a line where you get to, it's like, well, hold on, you might actually just hate women. I make fun of women because it's based and it's funny. You make fun of women because you actually just hate women. There's a difference, and you can tell. It's actually quite obvious.
Well spoken, which is very unfortunate because it actually shows, like this guy over here, right? It shows that he thinks so little of black people, whoever he is. I don't know what ethnicity he is. I don't know anything about the guy, right? He's one of those kind of hidden profiles. Most people will not put their face who leave those type of comments. But I'm thinking to myself, oh, so you think that to not be on welfare and to not be reliant upon the government, to be self-sufficient, to aspire towards success, to have personal agency is a white value system? That's
apparently
problematic. And it's not problematic for anybody besides the person who has that belief system, right? And there's a lot of white liberals who have this ideology. They think poor black folk, they need to be saved. If it's not for us, if we don't do something, then they're basically cooked because they can't.
And oh god, that is that white savior complex shit that I fucking hate. Now, just so you understand, if you're white and you're watching this, first off, stop doing that. That's fucking weird. If you're not white and you don't do this, congratulations, you're a normal person. Keep doing that. Now, black people that are watching, if you resonate with what he's saying, let me ask you this: how many times has someone told you that you speak white, right? And you just kind of have like nothing to say? Right. That's probably a lot of you, right? And the question usually comes around, when you're not using slang as much and you use words that are over 5 syllables, which is fucking insane to me. But I also find it interesting when people are like, well, you don't sound black. My immediate response to that is, what does a black guy sound like? I love asking that. What does a black guy sound like? And they sit there and they're just like, well. And it's like, yeah, because you have some fucked up caricature of what you think black people sound like. And you just don't want to say it. And now you're being pressed about it. And now you sound fucking retarded. It's the best thing. It's the best thing ever. Either that or they actually just start speaking like, a nigga would. And it's like, how? Okay, whatever, dude. It's like, you're just as racist as the Klan, bro. You just will hide it behind your white savior complex. Shut up, bro.
And do anything for themselves. That's that's what's known in psychology as infantilization. When you are infantilizing or you are making somebody out to be a child, you're babying this individual. That's what that is. When you coddle grown folk, you are essentially communicating to them that they cannot do for themselves. And there are those rare cases when you will find an adult who genuinely cannot. They're maybe not able-bodied, or there's a severe mental illness or whatever it is. But I've even seen people, far on the spectrum, or, who got Downs or something like that are working at a grocery store, that are doing different things. My mother does in-home care. She's been doing that for years. And I remember one of her clients or patients, I guess you would say, who was severely mentally ill, yet the girl would go to school. She would go to her job. She got herself a little job at the grocery store. She was doing different things. She was doing dance classes, etc. And I'm thinking to myself, there are people who are able-bodied, able-minded, who are leeching off of systems such as this. And I'm using that word intentionally because it is leeching. You are using up resources that are being collected or garnered from somewhere. Like when the government says that they're paying for programs such as the welfare programs, it's not the government paying for it. It's us.
It's us. It's coming out of my wallet. And it's crazy because people will tell me that, people need help. It's like, granted, I understand that people need help. I get that. But there's some people that don't deserve the help. And the fact that I'm paying taxes for them, I'm not really a fan of that. I'm not really a fan of that. Like, if I can go out here and do this, and I'm a professional retard, let's be real here. But if I can do it, you can do it. Let's be real here.
Taxpayers who are paying for these programs. So it is leeching. You are literally taking out of your neighbor's pocket when you yourself could actually do more. Now, again, there's going to be times in which people need to rely on somebody or a system or whatever it is in order to get on their feet. However,
True.
it's become generational. And that was my entire point with that video. But back to the point at hand is when you have this belief that that is, it's acting white. It's like, I remember seeing, let's say, suburban activity. So you got mom and dad and, kid in the damn yard and they're playing, or, mom sitting on the lawn chair and pops is running around playing basketball with the kid. And I've literally heard people say like, oh man, that's white people stuff. Like what? Having a mother and a father is white people stuff?
Yeah, I feel like that's such insane shit. Growing up in a stable household with two parents that love each other is white people shit. And I'm not gonna lie to you, if that's white people shit, I guess I'm white. That's fucking ridiculous, because that's exactly what I want. You're not gonna take that away from me because you think that only white people do that. Also, what does that say? He said it too. What does that say about you as a person, bro? Really? Really? Yeah, it's insane. It actually is insane. Like, oh my god. Oh god, it used to burn me up inside. Now I just find it comical because it's like, if you people think that, I'm gonna let you think that, and I kind of want you to move the fuck out of the way because actual people want to have and live actual lives, okay? And if that means living the white life, I guess that's what the fuck I'm doing. It's fucking, oh god, it's like, it's so aggressively retarded, it's insane. But also, I find it funny because the lowest rates of single parent households are black people, and the highest rates apparently are Asian parents. So, I mean, if you really wanted to be like that, you'd say that's an Asian thing to do. But whatever, dude.
Having a healthy relationship dynamic within your household as white people, that's troubling. That's problematic, folks. Like, that's the issue. If that is connotation or connected to whiteness, as far as having functional homes, that's problematic. Oh man, you see, he's acting white because he's not a thug, because he's not out here slanging dope, because he's not out here trying to be a menace to his damn society. He is white or acting white. And that's the worst part of it. It's like, you're not just white, you're acting white. What is it to act white? Because right now I live in a small town in Cali, and I'm soon to make my way out, right? It is.
Okay, I was about to say, small town in Cali? Sir, you need to leave, but he's making his way up. Thank God. I was about to say, brother, you're not going to make it there.
A redder part of the state, because this place is completely gone to shite. Governor, or
surprise,
not so governor, Gavin Newsom he's turned his
Gavin Newsom
back on the people. I don't even think he had the people in mind at first. So places turned into a hub for crime and things of that nature, right? Slaps on the wrist, like most blue states, quote unquote sanctuary states. But I digress. So I live in a place where there's maybe 70% white folk out here, like a lot of these small little towns in America. Super dope people. However, these folks right here, these white folks don't act nothing like the ones in the Bay Area where I came from. It's like opposite cultures. The way in which they live their lives, the way in
It's true. That's true. Gavin Newsom is accurate. Also, apparently he's like running. He wants to run for president. I don't think that's gonna work because I don't know what his plan is. But all I know for a fact is I'm not voting for that nigga. Like,
which even how the families are set up, etc. It is night and day difference. And I've seen differences when I've gone to Europe, etc. So how can I quantify any of that as acting white? You got some folk out here who are straight hillbillies, and then you got others who are, not necessarily that, but they're family oriented, etc. Then you got some just straight crackish type of individual. You got all types. You got a variety. There is no monolith within white folk, just like there is no monolith within black folk.
And it's crazy as well too, because this is like an exclusively an American black thing. This isn't like an African black thing, because people in Africa are also very, very, very family oriented. So I don't understand how this happened here, and I don't know why it's persisting here. Actually, I have a couple ideas, but that's for another video. But it's fucking stupid. Whatever. Motherfuckers talking about wanting to break a generational curse and then actively wanting to be a single mother. Like, nigga, what the fuck? You saw what happened to your mom, and for some reason you want to do the same damn thing because you don't like men? Whatever. Whatever.
And so when we use these statements, or when these statements are targeted towards us, it's really a representation of, unfortunately, the small-mindedness or short-sightedness of individuals who've been programmed to believe that to be black is to be ignorant, to be black is to be criminal, to be black is to not articulate yourself well. You know, these things make you black. The more hood, the more gutter, the more street you are, then the more you are connected to quote unquote blackness.
Gross.
Like, do we not know the history of Ebonics itself? That this is redneck language? You know, I make sure y'all pick up a copy of Thomas Sowell's, I think it's called The Black Redneck.
That is a fantastic book. Thomas Sowell is a fantastic academic, I suppose. I don't actually know what he is, to be honest with you.
Hillbilly culture that we're talking about here. The language that is, y'all I'm saying, what's up, y'all mean? That right there is derived from Southern dialect, which is hillbilly culture, country white folk culture, if we want to get down to it, right? It was like broken English. It's almost like patois or pidgin English, I guess you would say, you know, from some of our Nigerians out there. So when we start to make these connections of black culture, well, what it is to be black, not even just black culture. What is it to be black? Oh, to be black is these, and to be white is these. And oftentimes it's the negative connotations of what it is to be black. And I fell into this trap for, you know, majority of my teen years. I spent a majority of my teen years trying to be something I was not. And I ended up becoming what I was not. That's why I'm so, I guess, dogmatic about my message, is because I've lost best friends to that lifestyle. They're no longer here. 3 of my best friends, out of 5 of us, there was 5 of us, my road dogs, my day ones. 3 of them passed away before the age of 30. Damn. Overdoses. 1 of them has been in and out of prison since we're 17, 18 years old. That's the reality of quote unquote being black in the way that it is presented to us. Oh man, see him. You see an artist come out, right? You see a Leon Bridges, you see Anderson .Paak or something like that. I mean, that's not really a black artist. Like, you're black, but it's not really a black artist. So what is it to be a black artist then? What is it? They have to be gutter, they have to be street, they have to be hood.
Yeah, they have to sell drugs, disrespect women, have multiple fucking children, and make music about glorifying the worst aspects of being an African American male. What the fuck are you talking about? I don't get it personally. It makes no fucking sense to me, but if that's what they want to do. Which also, that's another thing that sucks too, because that is what's presented in the media, and then that media goes across the ocean, goes to other countries, and then other countries are starting to think very negatively about black people. And it's like, I don't live like that. They do. And they think it's cool. That's not well, it is my problem, unfortunately, but like, I don't want that problem. I have shit to do.
They can't articulate stuff. They can't be eccentric. They can't be free, basically. You know, that's democratic plantation talk right there. They can't be free. And that's the biggest issue that I honestly have about this. And so, again, for me, I actually say it's a compliment now. When I get comments like that, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's acknowledgement. Because what they're saying is, oh, you're teaching success. Oh, you're teaching self-sufficiency. You're teaching personal agency.
Yeah.
You must be white. As soon as they tell you you're acting white, they're telling you you're doing something right. You're eating healthier. Man, this nigga over here acting white. Really? Really? Getting in shape. Taking care of your body. Loving your children. Loving your wife. Huh?
Speaking of which, I said something on Twitter not too long ago talking about how I would like to have a wife, and someone was telling me that since I'm black, that's just not something I could do. Wild. Actually wild. But I mean, all right, go off, gang.
Building a business. That's not a hustle, an actual business. Generational wealth and handing that down. Financial literacy. These are the things that are connotated as whiteness in more cases than not. If you're going to be honest with yourself, it's almost never a positive thing. And it's unfortunate because that's not what blackness is. That's just dysfunction. It's like, I call it criminal culture, right? A lot of those aspects are just criminal culture, dysfunctional or toxic culture, regressive culture. That's what that is. And so when we continue to shame individuals for not being regressive, then we'll continue to get the very same results. We'll get en masse, even those kids who may have been born in the suburbs, etc. Like, I had a buddy of mine back in the day. I'm not going to give his name, but his mama owned McDonald's and you know what I mean? Like he was very well off and he was, acting white throughout high school. All of a sudden, after graduation, I run into him. So I was the, I was the problematic kid. I was that dude got kicked out of high school, got kicked out of my high school, et cetera, et cetera. Like I was that guy. And so when I ran into this dude, I had cleaned myself up. I had changed my life a little bit. And I'm talking to him and I'm like, he's, what's up, man? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you feel me? Yeah. I'm like, you went to college, you're the whole nines, and you came out even more gutted, how does that happen?
It happens because that's what they're fishing for. It's the craziest fucking thing because I've noticed that I don't want to say it's necessarily a black thing because I know a lot of white kids that do the exact same fucking thing, but it seems to be more prevalent within the black community where people like you and me will get told that we're not black enough, so we'll want to act more black. But what ends up happening is like me and you, we kind of break out of that. It just doesn't make sense. We're just going to end up being true to who we are and, fuck anyone who doesn't like it, right? But then there's some other people like your boy that starts fishing for it. And he goes out and he starts doing all this stupid shit and he becomes more HUD and he gets the acceptance that he wants without realizing that he's just ruined, that he's going to, or he has in fact ruined his life. It's sad to see. It's sad to see, but it happens way more than you think it does.
You had a beautiful life. You lived in the suburbs. I'm like, whoa. But then I remembered, because that's the masquerade you feel pressure to put on when you're rejected for simply being sophisticated. And people wonder why. There's been this huge divide within the so-called community because it's not a community anymore. It's now break-off societies, cultures, and tribes of these people who have certain values, certain morals, and those who don't uphold the same morals and values. And maybe that's for the better. That's been my new thing is like, maybe we need to go back to being a little more tribal and just come together with the tribes who affiliate and associated with us best, as opposed to just going off a race. The race thing don't work. You feel that you are beholden to your race when these may be the very most destructive people. I see comments every single day of folks giving that exact same story of like, bruh, like I feel like I'm not safe even around people who look just like me, but yet I feel beholden to this quasi loyalty. You ain't got to be.
It's great. I'm so glad more black people are saying this because I feel like this at like fucking 10. I was like 10 years old and I noticed that I don't act like any of the other black kids. And I don't get along with any of the other black kids, and I don't know why. And it took me a little too long. I'm ashamed to admit that. It took me a little too long to figure out that, you know what, fuck you then. Because I'll just hang out with the people that aren't going to judge me by my skin color, which was ironically white people. So, weird how that ended up working out, but whatever.
Loyalty to your destruction? Absolutely the hell not. Separate yourself from that element. If they're not standing on what you stand on, if they don't have the same value system, God, family, being an honest and integrity-filled individual, if they don't have those elements, then they might not be your people. Because these are things I stand on. So if you don't have that as your priorities, what business do we have?
Also, that is fine. That's another thing that I feel like a lot of people don't seem to understand. I'm not made for everyone and everyone is not made for me, and that's fine. Just because we can't be friends or whatever, and I can be friends with most people, but just because we probably might not get along, we have different opinions and all that good shit, or I just have to break off from somebody because they're not bringing in what I want in my life. You know what I mean? That's fine. Like people get so hung up on that shit. And they're like, well, if you don't like me, all this, and then they start attacking you and all this extra shit. And oh my God, it's ridiculous. Like you don't have to be friends with everybody. You're not gonna be friends with everybody. Like that's just how it is. Wish more people knew that.
We don't have to kick it. You ain't got to lie to kick it. We don't have to kick it. We don't have to pretend. Skin folk don't mean kinfolk. We don't have to pretend. I know that's oftentimes used on the other side, you know, when they try to do the whole, I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blackity black because I'm black, y'all, right? Skin folk ain't kinfolk. And y'all don't see me as kinfolk. The ones who call me a sellout and all types of stuff, the ones who leave messages like that, y'all don't see me as kinfolk, and you shouldn't, because I don't subscribe to a mentality of degeneracy. I don't subscribe to a mentality of tomfoolery. I don't.
Or victimization.
I don't. I would rather be sophisticated in my thinking. I would rather be somebody who is well thought out. I'd rather be somebody who is illiterate, not just to, you know, in the way that I articulate myself, but also financially, or emotionally intelligent. I'd rather be those things than be somebody who's proven something. I'm cool off that. I'm cool off that. Don't get it twisted. Just because I got a do-rag on doesn't mean anything. The do-rag does not define a damn thing besides the fact that I'm attempting to get waves for the first time in my life.
Valid.
And if it doesn't work out, then to hell with it. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Y'all are beautiful human beings. I really, really appreciate y'all. Everybody's been showing love and just showing up and showing out. We're here. We're here for real conversations. We're here for the real thing. I made a promise. I said, I'm never going to sugarcoat y'all again. I'm not going to cap. I'm not going to, but maybe I should, but just in case, because I don't care to be bullied. I really don't. I've heard like some of the most heinous things, y'all. I am not afraid. I know whose side I'm on. Simple as that. I know who's got my back. So I am unafraid. Appreciate y'all. Till the next time. Peace.
Well, see, there you go. Like, comment, and subscribe to that guy specifically, because he spit nothing but fucking facts. Holy shit. I'm just so glad that more and more black people are waking up to this type of tomfoolery, all this dickheadedness.